Who were these people, this sect who kept these scrolls?
They were a Jewish group, from before the time of the first Jewish revolt against the Romans. So it was before 64 or 70 AD. They belonged, in other words, to the Judaic culture into which John the Baptist and Jesus were born, and from which the Christians, or Nazarenes, began to organize themselves into separate communities sometime in the first century AD. Beyond that, there's a lot of controversy. Maybe they were related to the Essenes, who were a splinter group of Jewish people. However, the Essenes are described by the Roman scholars who wrote about them, including Philo, as a monastic group. And one of the Dead Sea Scrolls, called the Manual of Discipline, which describes their beliefs and their behavior, has clear rules for delineating marriage. So this group was not monastic. The Essenes were also communistic in their beliefs, according to Philo, like the primitive Christian church described in the book of Acts. And these people were not communistic. They definitely believed in private property.
So they weren't Essenes?
The majority of the scholars believe they were, and that the Roman historians who wrote about them were merely mistaken, Philo and Josephus.
It wouldn't be the first time that historians have made a mistake.
By no means. Whatever the best approach, there's no question that the scrolls tell a lot about the Judaic culture from around the time Christianity developed. These people rejected Pharisaic temple worship, and they rejected animal sacrifice like Jesus. They practiced a rite of baptism like the early Christians. They had a different canon of literature from the other Jews of the time. They believed in a new covenant and had the expectation of some kind of divine judgment. Those of the scrolls, three of the scrolls describe a sacred meal consisting of bread and water. So they also had another similarity to the early Christians. But they believed there would be an apocalyptic war, some kind of messianic war that would deliver Israel and the righteous ones from her enemies. They depict an avoidance, almost a phobic attitude toward the outside world. Other Jews, Jews living in the shadows of Roman rule in Palestine, where the crucifixion was all a day's work, the crucifixion of non-Romans.
Is it possible that Jesus was influenced by these people?
John the Baptist and Jesus were definitely not alone in the Judean desert. These people, like the two of them, were mystical, apocalyptic, desert Yahwehs of a sort that in some ways harken back to the very roots of Judaism. It gives the King of the Jews a new resonance and pathos.
Thank you. The Dead Sea Scrolls is published in volume 19, issue 1 of the Missouri Review, dating back to 1992. And I believe it's online on our website, so check it out.